Welcome to the newest episode of Imagining David. Yeah, it's the first. But the image that I have in my head today is evolving around the whole topic of lighting in videography, which I learned is pretty important. Disclaimer, I'm not a professional, maybe not even an amateur. I have ideas in my head that I want to bring to life, and I learn the things that I need for that while working on this. So welcome to the journey. Welcome to my mind. So the first idea that I have evolves around the desk that you can see behind me, which is very beautiful and that I want to put into spotlight so it could basically sing memories from cats on a big stage. So I want to have this light spot coming from the ceiling, just showing the desk in front of a very neutral background. So in order to do that, the first thing that I need to do is bring this key light above the desk, so it becomes kind of like a headlight and the spotlight. So I have this huge tripod that holds the light, but I couldn't get it in a position where I was satisfied with the outcome. So I tried different variations to hold it over the table. I can tell you it's quite heavy. But looking at the images, I saw freeze frames of what I actually imagined in my head. So here's what happened this afternoon. Thought it might be a good idea just to drill a hole into the wall and from there have a string to over there, but the string So what I ended up doing is drilling a hole into the ceiling. Nobody likes that, but I just did that, and now I have a hook in the ceiling, and I'm gonna Alright, I need to try it out in the dark. So what you can see is that I'm getting one step closer to what I'm actually aiming for. There's a spotlight hanging above the object. So what about the neutral background I was talking about? There's a lot of distractive stuff in the picture still. There's this air condition, there's this door, there are these pictures back there. And I have this beautiful Swedish closet right there that is kind of like a mirror reflecting light from it. So one thing that I have is this backdrop. Let's try that. Well, that's a start. Bring out the curtains. Well, the air conditioner is still there. The only problem we're having right now is that the background is nowhere to tell apart from the actual object. So what we would need is another light. So now we have better lighting for the air conditioning. But what we also did is we got this little glow at the background. So you can really tell the difference between the object and the background, which gives the image a lot more depth. So I decided to do some testing because I really had no idea whether I should put the light on full power or if it's something just below 30%. So what I did is I sat down in the setup and went through different settings. 10%, 30%, 50%, 75%, and 100%. And then I really felt I had the final image. So maybe let's try some more grading. And maybe try better models. So here's what I've learned today. The basic lighting triangle consists of a key light, a fill light, and a backlight. You can be very creative with that. So the key light is kind of like the main light. It is to highlight the dimensions of the object you want to describe. In this setup, it's more of a headlight. The fill light is a less powerful light that is placed on the opposite side of the key light. It is to light up the shadows that are created by the key light. In this setup I don't really have a fill light, but I felt that the monitors are kind of another light source that light up a little bit the object, the desk, and my face as well. A backlight is usually used to light up an object from behind, to distinguish the object from the background. I used the backlight a little bit different because I wasn't pointing it at the object itself. I was pointing it at the background, but I kind of feel that it does the job. So as I said, there's a setup that's the basic setup, but if you kind of like play around with it, that's where you get creative. The next thing I learned is to diffuse the light. When I was first thinking of the image, I was thinking of a very hard spotlight, as I said, like in the Cats musical. So when I tried it out the first time, I realized it's not gonna work. It's a bit out of control. A diffuser gives the light a much softer look. It can be anything that you put in front of the light source that still lets light through. So in this case, it's the big light dome, so it gives the whole image a much softer light look. Well, that's it for now. Again, I'm really learning while doing this, so I would be more than happy if you post some comments to help me learn and improve in what I'm doing. Please get in touch if you have any ideas, any comments, and I see you around. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.